Some of you have requested a tutorial for a very supportive toddler wiggle-proof back carry. This one has 3 layers, which means more layers over baby than a double hammock carry, so that helps make it very supportive. It's going to have a chest pass. You're going to love it. Now, let me just mention, I'm going to be using my Girasol Atlantis wrap here, which is a gorgeous wrap, but it is base +1 for me. That means it's 1 size longer than my base size. So you don't need a wrap that long to do this carry. You may be able to do it with base -1 or base size. You can also do it with base +1. I wanted to mention that in real life, I would not choose a long wrap and a long carry while standing in the snow because my tails are going to be dragging in the snow. So in real life, I would find a piece of pavement or something under an awning of a store. I don't know, but I wanted for tutorial life, for this doll wrapping I'm about to do, I wanted to have the pretty background. So here we are out in the snow. So you'll see me stopping to shake off my tails a few times. If you have nothing but a long wrap in the snow, that's what you'll do when you wrap with it. Okay, so I'm going to put my toddler on my back and I'm going to talk you through what I'm doing. There's a few times I'm going to use my mouth to hold the wrap, so I'll try to remember to tell you what I'm going to do while the wrap's in my mouth before I do it, so you can still follow along. Let me know if you are interested in this. Let me know if a very supportive toddler back carry that prevents your baby from popping the seat or leaning out of it is something that you need. Do you have that kind of a toddler? Let me know in the comments and I'll get going. So, okay, I've got the middle of the wrap on my toddler. This is my toddler. I'm going to just pull it down so there's not too much at the top. One thing that a lot of you are going to like about this carry is it does start centered, meaning the middle of the wrap is on baby's back, at the center of the wrap. Sometimes we go for a carry like double hammock that does not start centered, but we forget not to center it. So then you end up having to figure out what to do at the end when you have uneven ends. You won't have that problem with this carry. It starts centered. Again, you can use your base size wrap, or you can use a wrap 1 size smaller or 1 size longer than it, like I am. And I'm going to scoop my baby, my toddler, onto my back. Now the next thing I think a bunch of you are going to like about this is that it starts like a rucksack carry, and that is a carry that a lot of people are familiar with. It's a lot of people's first carry, or it's a very handy, very fast carry, so a lot of people have that as one of the tools in their wrapping toolbox. So I'm going to bring both ends over my shoulders just like for a rucksack. I'm going to put one end between my knees, and I'm going to make sure to get a good seat with this end. So I'm going to hold the top rail in my mouth, in my teeth, while I push up baby's knee here and gather this wrap. And you'll see when I'm gathering it, that I'm gathering each strand of it. This is called strand by strand tightening. It's where you start at one end and you go a little bit down the width of the wrap until you get all the way to the other end, and you tighten each piece of it so that it's not just the bottom rail that's tight, not just the top rail, but every piece of the wrap evenly tightened around your baby. And that is what's going to make it 1, secure, and 2, comfortable and weightless. So that's what I'm doing now. All right, so that all looks good. And I'll bring it over my shoulder, and then I'm going to go ahead and start with that piece I just tightened while I've still got it the way I want it. And what I'm going to do, here's number 3, what a lot of you are going to like about this carry, is the very next thing you do after you get baby positioned as if for a rucksack, is we're going to do a wiggle-proof pass. So if your toddler tends to try to wreck the carry as you're doing it, you'll get this pass in place early on in the carry as fast as you can to prevent them being able to do that. So if you haven't done a wiggle-proof pass before, you may need to practice it, so don't be hard on yourself and don't feel like it's impossible, because you got to do it a few times and then it gets easy and fast. So you're going to come straight down, making a rucksack strap. I'm going to come under baby's leg, or my toddler's leg. Okay, now I'm going to, my bottom rail, let's see, I'm using the green as my top rail, purple is my bottom rail. So my bottom rail, my purple here, I'm going to sort of stuff up under my toddler's bottom a little. And then I'm going to take the green rail. All right, I hope you're still with me. I'm going to take the green rail in both hands, my top rail here, and spread it. And here's where I'm shaking the snow off my wrap, which you only have to do if you're standing in the snow. And I'm gonna spread it wide over and up my baby's back. See that? And I'm sliding it up this way. And I just keep pulling down here, which is pulling the green rail down here under baby's leg, so that I can then pull it up here, all of that slack. One trick you can do is stick your elbow in that top rail, which reaches back and helps get you some leverage in pulling the slack across. Okay. Now I want to make sure that the purple came all the way to this knee. The green is all the way to this knee. It's a good idea here, by the way, to take this rucksack strap and you can gather up, you can sort of tighten that first rucksack pass on your baby, pull all that slack down and pull out over up on this shoulder again. Okay. Okay, so let's see, make sure this came all the way to this knee and then gets pulled straight up. And it's all, again, evenly tightened throughout the width of the wrap. Okay. So now this is going to go between my knees. This first strap that was on my shoulder is going to come under my arm. And then it's going to make a chest pass here. So I'm going to just pull it around and then put this new shoulder strap between my knees so that it's on top of this piece I'm going to make the chest pass with. Now I can spread this across my chest, bring it around, and one thing you want to pay attention to here is get that top rail real tight as you're pulling this chest pass around, because unlike a double hammock carry, you're not going to be able to do what we call an L pull on this pass like you do in a double hammock carry. So I'm going to bring it around. What I'll do here, again, I'm going to take the bottom rail around and tuck it under my baby's bottom. So I'm going to hold on to this top rail with my teeth while I do that. Uh-huh. Okay. Then once I've got that tucked up under my toddler, I'm going to take the top rail, and as I take it in my hand, I can take it out of my teeth like this. And I've got it in both hands, just like I did the last pass. And I'm gonna bring it across my baby, holding that top rail tight as I pull it around this way. All right, so I'm going in a circle to try to show you that this whole maneuver is pulling the top rail that way, while pulling this top rail that way. And that's going across my body. Again, I can stick my elbow in that top rail to leverage some of it around. I want to get that top rail real nice and snug. Okay, and then of course, I want this whole chest pass nice and snug. So I'm pulling that bottom rail around. I had tucked it under my baby's bottom, but that's undone now because I'm pulling more slack out of it, making sure it goes from toddler's knee to toddler's other knee here. It's all snug all the way through the chest pass, top to bottom. I can do a strand by strand tightening here. And hop and tug. And when I'm happy with my chest pass, I'm good to go and I can actually finish this carry. All that's left is I take these two ends and I tie a knot here. You can tie a slip knot like I've been teaching you if you've been following my reels. But I have a long wrap. I can do that. These actually aren't dragging on the ground, so I would just have these gorgeous flowing tails if you're into that. So this is the version that you can probably do with your base -1, which means a wrap that's one size smaller than your base size. Now, a lot of people will prefer to do a candy cane chest pass here, and you can do that too. So I want to make sure that this original first tail here is nice and snug, so I sort of did a quick strand by strand tightening through it, and now I am twisting across my chest till I get to the other strap, and I'm going to put one end through the strap. You can do it a few different ways. I'm sort of doing it over and then under like a knotless sort of a tuck. And you want to take your tails then and tie at least a single knot here. You can tie a double knot to be really sure it can't slide or, you know, start to, what's the word, you know, can't loosen. But usually with most wraps, a single knot's going to be fine if you're also doing a tucking through the shoulder strap. Always be aware of your wrap in case it's loosening. Make sure your baby is safe, your toddler is safe. So here, I don't know if you were able to keep track while I was going, but we started with a rucksack pass. However, I then later moved one of those shoulder pieces under my arm, so I don't really end up with a rucksack pass in this carry. So it ends up being one sling pass, which keeps your toddler from being able to lean away from you if you get that sling pass tight. Next was the Wiggleproof pass, which is the same as a cross pass, but going up from between baby's legs across baby or toddler. That is the one that keeps my toddler from being able to leg straighten, because that pass is actually between the legs. So even if she does leg straighten and bunches up some of the passes, she'll be able to do it less, and she won't, like, no way she can fall out the bottom, because one piece is literally between her legs. There's no falling out, no matter how wiggly she is. So that combination of sling pass and cross pass makes a very wiggle-proof combination. And then the last pass we did, if you were paying attention, is just a torso pass or a horizontal pass. It's going under this arm, across my baby, my toddler, and then under my arm over here. So it's just a straight across pass. It's just adding more support. So this is a very supportive carry. It's got the same chest pass as a double hammock carry, but with 3 layers over baby. If you have enough length to do this candy cane chest belt, then that takes more of the weight across your chest and torso, so it's not that shoulder heavy, even though you may be wrapping a giant toddler. It's bright out here. You know how snow is bright? So I'm not sure if there's comments I'm missing. I see a bunch of you are watching. I don't see any comments, but I will check when I get inside. So if you're watching this in replay, give me hashtag replay in the comments, and then tell me any questions or comments that you have, and I will answer them with my fingers, because I can't see well enough to see if there's any I should be answering right now. I hope you loved this Norwegian Wiggleproof back carry. Great for a toddler or a heavy baby. I guess that's it. That's what I had for you. I will be saving this tutorial in Wrap Club. If you're not in Wrap Club, you should join. That's my free wrapping Facebook group, and there's a lot of resources in there. If there's any specific thing you want help with, or if you need help in general because trying to wrap doesn't match what you see people doing on the screen and you don't know what you're doing wrong, you can always message me if you want some coaching. I have a membership actually where I do group coaching. So let me know if you want my help anytime. You can send me a message here. You can email Diana@WrapYourBaby.com. I am pretty darn available. And I want to help make wrapping work for you. All right. Any questions in the comments? And until the next time, happy wrapping and stay warm.